The Crow and the Pitcher. Once upon a time, in a quiet countryside, there lived a clever crow. He was known throughout the land for his wit and sharp thinking. He would often observe the world around him, always ready to solve any problem that came his way. One hot summer day, as the crow flew across the fields in search of water, he grew increasingly thirsty. The sun beat down fiercely, and the crow's wings were growing tired from the long flight. After flying for what seemed like hours, he finally spotted a pitcher sitting on the ground beneath a tree. His heart leapt with hope as he saw it. Surely there was water inside. He hurried over to the pitcher and eagerly peered inside. To his dismay, the pitcher was half full of water, but the water was at the bottom, just out of reach of his beak. He tried to stick his head inside, but it was no use. No matter how he craned his neck, he could not reach the water. The crow felt frustrated and began to pace around the pitcher, trying to think of a way to solve the problem. He thought to himself, "I am clever, I can find a way to get to the water." The crow pecked at the sides of the pitcher, hoping to tilt it or move it in some way, but it was too heavy. He tried pushing it with his wings, but it wouldn't budge. The water was just too far down. He felt desperate and nearly gave up. But then an idea sparked in his mind. The crow took a step back and thought carefully. He looked around the area and noticed a few small pebbles scattered on the ground. His eyes lit up as the solution became clear. With newfound determination, the crow picked up a small pebble in his beak and dropped it into the pitcher. He watched intently as the pebble sank to the bottom. Then he dropped another pebble, and another, one after another, into the pitcher. Slowly, as more and more pebbles filled the pitcher, the water began to rise. After dropping several pebbles, the water level rose high enough for the crow to reach it with his beak. He took a long, satisfying drink and quenched his thirst. His plan had worked. The crow, feeling refreshed and proud of his cleverness, hopped onto a nearby branch. He looked down at the pitcher and smiled. His quick thinking had saved him from his thirst, and he had learned that sometimes the best solutions come from patience and ingenuity. From that day on, the crow shared his story with other animals, teaching them that no problem is too big to solve with a little creativity and persistence. He became even more respected in the forest, not just for his wit, but for his ability to think outside the box and never give up. The end. Moral of the story: The Crow and the Pitcher teaches us that when faced with a challenge, persistence, creativity, and thinking carefully can help us find a solution. Even in difficult situations, there is often a way to solve the problem if we approach it with patience and cleverness.